Hi everyone, I'm John Fry, and there's been a lot of fuss made about the FX3 Creator RS2 rig, so I've decided out of my spare bits box to have a look through and see what I can do along the same lines. So this isn't an FX3, as you can tell. It is in fact an A7S3, which is, you know, more or less the same. It's got the same chip, it's got almost all the same features, and the pictures look almost identical as well. So what I've done here, I've tried to replicate more or less what they've done, but if anything, tried to make it a little bit more practical. So it's longer because I have this massive, great 270 watt-hour battery on the back to counterweight it. You can also see I have a monitor here. This is the Atomos Ninja V, which is you know, backup recorder, and it'll also do ProRes RAW and all that sort of stuff. I could also very easily add a little transmitter on the back here because I have a multi-D-tap output on there, which is powering the RS2. I could also have a cable going in to power the camera. It's powering the Ninja, and there's two spare outputs, so you know, we could have a light on the top, we could have another monitor here if necessary. But actually, the way this is set up, the screen here is right in front of my face, so I can see the camera screen, you know, really well, so there's no need for that. You see I haven't got a wireless focus on there because I've got focus on this grip here. So because it's an autofocus lens, which of course is only focusing on my face, it's an autofocus lens. The RS2 allows pass through of that data. Oh, I haven't actually got the cable connected, but if I did, I'd have to be able to control the focus via this wheel on here, as you would do the wheel on the RS2. Okay, so that also means that this thing can control recording, start and stop on the camera. This is the tilter, I think, hand grip for the RS2. Try and get you to see that, not very easily, but what you can see from it is I've got complete control of the RS2, pan, tilt, and again, if we had the cable on there, I'd have record, start, stop, and focus control as well, which means that I could, and I can do that with the button on there. So all of my gimbal controls are down here, so I don't have to worry about pressing anything up there. Also means camera controls are down here, again, easy. So it's all handy. So that's how I've done that. One simple cable straight into the Ninja, which is set to record simultaneously to what's going on in the camera, so it's backup, or you could do 4K in here, HD there, whatever, you know, you could do all that sort of thing. I've got the Connect for the Ninja as well, so you could be live streaming from that live as well, which is quite fun. So how have I built this? Well, basically it's just, I say, spare bits. So an old shoulder pad I had in there, an old whatever you'd call that sort of thing, a sort of camera bracket, a rail bracket for the camera. I've also had two L brackets that were from flash adapters, which I've put back to back and screwed together, so they provide a really solid, sort of doubly backed up, solid two single pieces of metal, which are on connecting the tilter power base to the RS2 here. So that is solid, there's no wobble at all in that, which so I did find with one there was a bit of bounce on it, and that wasn't very good because it was getting into the shot, whereas at the moment this is really solid. I think overall, you know, if you're going for this sort of look and you wanted, you know, creator style handheld but with smoothed out movements, I think this works very well. It's actually very comfortable, it's nicely counterweighted, it is still front heavy, but I can live with that for the amount of time you're going to be doing it. It's very nice, still a lot more comfortable than having hand holding the RS2 with all the extra guff on, recorders, transmitters, receivers, all that sort of stuff. I could very easily add my Sony dual radio mic receiver in there to get dual channel sound, put a little mic on, again easily put the handle and, you know, something up there for a little light. That's all easy and possible. And of course we've got this zoom lens on here at the moment, but just as easy to swap out for a PL and use the focus wheel here to drive the focus motor from DJI to make that work as well. So yeah, this works pretty well actually. I'm quite pleased with what I managed to cobble together, considering that this was, yeah, I said, just a day off experiment really. And yeah, it works pretty well. It's nice to have the gimbal controls at your fingertips, so if you need to do anything more than your normal follow, you can adjust your shot manually there, and also having the camera control makes it very easy to work on your own. Yeah, so that's my creator style DIY bodge job, really. DIY style creator rig for the Sony FX3, A7S, whatever mirrorless camera you happen to have, and the DJI RS2, but could just as easily put my FX6 on here. Even easier if it was an RS3, because that takes a little bit more payload and has slightly longer arms, so it accommodates the FX6 better. And then they could have shot the creator with FX6s. I suppose that was just a bit too unwieldy. They wanted more cameras, perhaps, I don't know. So yeah, this works pretty well. I'd be interested to try it on a job, especially something where I have to do some moving, because you know, you're still not disconnected from the operator. In fact, with this, you're more connected. You have more points of contact with the operator's body. So the walking element, the bounce, visible footsteps, as we call them in the Steadicam world, are actually going to be more prevalent with this than if you're just hand holding it with one or even two arms, because your arms take out that bounce, of course. But for those in-between sort of semi-handheld shots, I think this actually is quite a good solution. Just give you another idea of what the back looks like. Battery and bits and pieces. I still have to say though, I do prefer my gimbal rig on the Steadicam arm. The Steadicam arm actually brings all the weight round into the front. It makes a much smaller package. I can take my arms away from that without thinking the whole thing's going to drop on the floor. But there we go. That's just a little rundown of my creator style FX3 A7S3 little setup here. The key being the grip here that's doing all the work controlling the gimbal and the camera, and actually makes arguably slightly easier thing to work than the creator shots I've seen behind the scenes. So there we go. Thanks for watching. I've been John Fry.